Def Comedy Jam doesn't get enough credit that it should. It just really doesn't. Def Comedy Jam, first of all, was to me, I call it Moses. Took a lot of brothers to the promised land. Took a lot of brothers to the promised land. Def Comedy Jam inspired a lot of people. Def Comedy Jam made HBO present in a lot of black households. Because, you know, black people, when I heard about Def Comedy Jam, people want to get HBO so you can see Def Comedy Jam. And because the ratings were so high, it wasn't just black folk watching it. You know, you had to be a lot of, you know, others watching Def Comedy Jam. So they're inviting African Americans in their homes, in their living rooms. So when you invite African Americans in your home, in your living rooms, it's like, okay, that opens the door for a lot of other things. Black sitcoms kind of went up after Def Comedy Jam. It's like, oh, okay, wow, okay, they feeling us, they seeing us now. Wow, okay, cool.
Check this out, y'all. Check this out, y'all. Check this out, you know what I'm saying? Because this next guy coming to the stage happens to be my little brother. You've seen his ass before, you know what I'm saying? From St. Louis and shit, and I'm glad he working. Got him back on the show because I kicked him out the house because he ain't nothing but a mooching little bastard. So give a warm round of applause from St. Louis, my little brother, the world famous God T.
Never really grew up wanting to be a stand-up like a kid. You know, a lot of cats grew up listening to Richard Pryor records and, you know, Eddie Murphy and all that. And I wanted to be a professional athlete. I thought I was going to be in the NFL, to be quite honest. But my brother started doing comedy, Joe Torry. Def Comedy Jam came out. I was like, wow, you know, those are cats who was kind of like my age that I can, you know, in my generation, I can identify with. When Def Jam came around, I had a chance to do it the last season Martin hosted. But I knew I wasn't ready. My brother knew I wasn't ready. And we decided to wait. And then when my brother took over hosting, you know, Bob Sumner, who booked basically everybody who's ever walked on stage on Def Comedy Jam, gave me a shot. I had been doing comedy, I think maybe just a little over 2 years. And when I found out that I was getting it, I found out maybe about, I don't know, a month and a half before. And I just went into this zone. I just started like getting up every night, you know, 5-6 times a night, focused. And I was like, yo, this is my shot. And you know, it's almost like, you know, Eminem's song, even though it was long before Eminem, was like, you only get one shot, you know, and that one shot, I wasn't going to let anybody down.
I got some family secrets. Y'all want to know some family secrets about Joe? Yeah. Tell them about the time you used to pee the bed until you was 18, brother. Went from diapers to Depends. Mr. Poetic Justice. Mr. Couldn't Get It Up. All right. Tupac!
I went to House of Blues to see, I think LL Cool J was performing at the House of Blues, and I just happened to be there that night. Pac was there that night, and Pac was like, yo, man, so what's going on, you know? What's happening? What's hanging out? What's going on tonight? And I was like, you know, this spot, that spot. Well, let's go. And I know the whole East Coast, West Coast thing was in full swing, and Pac had a convertible Rolls Royce. And I was like, wow. Riding around in L.A. in a convertible Rolls Royce with Pac. And I had to think of one quick. And I was like, you know what, man? I got this little shorty meet me back at the crib. She just hit me on my phone, said she waiting out for what's up. She's like, all right, go ahead, player. Do your thing. I ain't mad at you. So it was all good. I was like, yo, because I was, you know, I didn't know what was up. It's like, you know, at that time, the East Coast, West Coast rivalry was hot. You know what I mean? And Pac was rolling around with no bodyguard, nothing, in a drop-top Rolls Royce. I was like, wow. Dude really got some balls. Every time I think of Pac, I think of that scene in Malcolm X or Denzel, right before he's going to give that speech, and he was in his zone, and that lady said, don't pay them no never mind. And he kind of knew, I think, you know, at that point, the way Denzel played that so cold was like, he kind of knew something was up. It's not that they invited it, but it's like, okay, any minute now, something going to happen. You know, it's funny because, you know, some people have seen the DVDs and things like that, but it's nothing like being there live and in the moment. Because a lot of times when you do the DVDs and you do the stuff on TV, you're almost following a script. You know what I'm saying? Very few things are spontaneous, you know, because you got a certain time frame, there's a certain message you want to get out and things like that, so you're following a script when you're doing, you know, DVDs or you're doing TV most of the time. But live, the comedy clubs are like the gym. That's where comics go and work out a lot of stuff. They do the stuff they know that works, but they also trying out other stuff, you know, throwing it out there. So sometimes audiences, when they come to a comedy club, you've seen a joke in its infancy. You've seen a joke, you know, just created right on the spot. I mean, I talk about everybody. Nothing's sacred. My comedy is like a pot of gumbo. It's like all these different ingredients that come together to make one big pot of stew, which is the Stuck on Stupid tour. And it's you know, I talk about current events, pet peeves, you know, relationships, you know, religion, spontaneity right there. If something's in my face, it's gonna get talked about. Talking about my mom, my dad. Nothing's sad. It's sad because sometimes I don't know if it's sad or morbid or whatever, but I can look at the news and something really, really cold could have happened, you know. But 2 seconds later, my mind is working on how can I make that funny. It's comedy is truth and pain, you know, and my mind is just trained to find the funny in it.
I like New York because y'all don't have that pedestrian law. In LA, they got this pedestrian law. The pedestrian has a right-of-way when crossing the street. The right-of-way. That means you can be doing 80 miles an hour. Somebody decide they want to walk, they happy go look their ass across the street. You got to slow down and stop. Oh, hell no.
I always say this. Never be afraid to be great. Don't ever be afraid to be great. There's so many people out there who are afraid of success. They're afraid of being great, that they hold themselves back. You know, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, how do you know if you don't go to the other side? Some people you get too comfortable in your zone. Step outside that zone, and because greatness is in all of us. You just gotta go grab it.
Police gonna stop me talking about, can I see a license registration? I'm like, why? Well, you just hit a man 2 miles back. Didn't you know he had the right of way? I'm like, yeah, I ain't hesitate. I hit his ass right away, pow!
You have to change with the times, and it's wild because with Barack Obama being president, now being elected, the excuses are starting to become old. You know, even if with technology, I mean, there's a bunch of young filmmakers out there who haven't made it yet, but who's doing their guerrilla filmmaking and things like that, who you can link up with and get some tape on yourself. You know, so that you can take that to a manager, take that to an agent, or shop it online. I mean, come on, it's technology. It's too many ways for you to get put on now, for you to be lazy. If you got to be proactive. Bottom line, you got to sit down, write yourself a plan, and stick to that plan. Stay focused, and try to be as different, but then you know the rules and the laws of this land as possible. What's next in my plan is right now focused on completing a lot of goals in comedy I haven't completed yet. Comedy is still the girl that brought me to the dance, and I still got a lot in comedy I still want to accomplish. You know, acting I love, and that's still very much, you know, in focus as well. Right now, comedy is right there. Acting is a very close second, you know, and my love for sports is right there. It's like comedy's the umbrella, and acting and sports, meaning that, you know, commentary, sketches, things like that, and writing are falling under that umbrella. So my number one focus is comedy. Love making people laugh. That's the thing I can control. I can control comedy. I can't control acting. I can work on my craft, work on my skills, you know, try to get as many projects as I can. But at the end of the day, if I'm not the one writing the check, then, you know, I don't control it. So comedy is the main focus, because right now I think the world needs to be laughed right now. We just went through the 2 of the worst presidents we've ever had. You know, term 1 Bush and term 2 Bush. So last 8 years have been crazy. How you the last worst 2 presidents? Man, you outdid yourself the second time. Crazy. So the world needs laughter right now. So, you know, I want to be one of those ones that provide that. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Torry, comedian, actor, and right now I am in Philly at Helium Comedy Club. It's the best damn comedy show, period. I guarantee you'll have a great time at my show. It's uncut, unplugged, and unbelievable. Stuck on Stupid Tour, Torry. Let me tell you something. You come see my show, I guarantee you'll have a great time. If you don't have a good time at my show, after every show I am standing in the lobby, all right? You come up to me with your ticket stub in your hand, and you say, God, didn't have a good time. I will take you to the box office where you got your ticket, and I will show you the sign that says no refunds.